sing it.
I'm lucky I didn't have to sing that out. I sung it out a little bit as I went. Yes, I'm recording. So
no,
now.
You record what I said just now.
Nope.
Okay, good.
Maybe you have to play back. What did you say?
No.
So let's say I want to display 26 buttons for the alphabet, right? How would I do that? Well, get rid of all this mumbo jumbo. Const alphabet. Alphabet. Now, instead of making 26 individual buttons, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, O, P, Q, W, X, Y, Z. All right, we have a nice little thing here, right?
There's a note.
Oh, did I miss W? I said it. Ooh. I just missed it.
I did mine with this. I set mine in state. Is that? I mean, it
We're going to, yes. Yeah, we're going to make it in state here real fast. So this is just kind of our starting point. So now we have.
I just separated each one in quotes.
So you made an array.
I did, yes.
You could do that. But
So
we
did
just
I.
Split it, right? Yeah.
I didn't actually make them. I just copy and paste. So I found one on mine.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I did the same thing, and then I remembered I could just split it. Then I just said, screw it up, just keep it.
Yep. So now I want to make something that gives me 26 buttons, and then when I click each button, it disables that button. Okay.
Good luck.
Easy enough, right? Right.
Been stuck on that for a month.
Do this. Let's see if I can do this. So what would be the first thing we have to do?
You can display the letters.
Yeah.
Map it.
So let's not make it too crazy. Even though I'll probably be in state in about 10 minutes, let's not worry about the complexity yet. Let's just get 26 buttons on the screen. Letter I. Return. Button. Key equals I. And then letter. And then if I yarn start this, speaking of done is better than perfect, don't forget to submit your homework assignments. No matter how far you are with the past couple assignments, be sure, just a blanket, make sure to keep on submitting your homework assignments whenever you're done with them.
Yeah.
Progress reports are happening this week again, so just so you know.
Have they been spent? Go back and send them, finish them, or whatever.
Yeah, whatever you have done with your old homeworks, just turn it in, so I can see how far you've done. Hey, we have our buttons. I'll take that. Yeah, so let's see what we're doing here. We're just saying, hey, for each letter inside of our alphabet, which is an array, right? We're creating a letter.
And you need a key for on-click events and disable.
You need a key for everything. If not, it will give you a warning.
Yeah, you need a key for anytime you're mapping over something. So now, a lot of you are taking notes seriously right now. This is nowhere near our final product, just so you're aware.
That's not it?
No, because we still have to change it. We still have the on-click. We still have to change it whether it's disabled or not. We can even change the character that's being displayed.
Those are easy.
Yeah, so now, whenever I click this, I want it to update the character, right? Or I want to disable it. preferably both. So whenever I click this, it'll disable the M. So now I have a lot of stuff going. I'm starting to see a lot of stuff happening here, right? I'm gonna have an if statement here. I'm gonna have maybe an on-click event, something going on here. So let's create our own button component here. Call it letter button. So now instead of rendering out the button, I want to do letter button. And I want to pass it the letter equals the letter. And down here, this dot props dot letter. So what have I done? I've taken each button itself and compartmentalize it so it's its own individual component.
Can you go back to?
Still works.
Letter button.
Nothing too fancy.
No browser.
Mm-hmm.
Can you walk through the thought process of starting with button instead of starting with? I mean, just anything else in the app. Why button first? Is it arbitrary to pick that?
Because I'm walking through an example of how to disable buttons. So I'm
Is
not
this how you would start it?
No, I mean, I would start it. This is not how I start the project.
HTML.
I mean, I would start after I got the HTML going. I would start picking the word, then I would start displaying the word, then I'd work on the buttons. That's how I would approach it. But since I'm not working on actual Hangman or Snowman, I'm just doing a quick little example. It's like, I'm just going to start here.
Gotcha.
All right, so now that we have our alphabet, so going off of what we said over there, is that we need to have some sort of thing to store what the user's clicked so far, right? So it says whenever I click M, we know that I've clicked M. Whenever we click O, we know what was that, Gus?
Just pick an array.
Yep, so we're going to have to store a pick array somewhere. And where should that go? It should go in state, right? Because we're storing something that's going to be changing over time. So now, constructor this dot state equals picked.
Should we be doing all of this in app, or should we be doing this in like a forward component page?
Probably when you get to it, it'll probably be in a board component.
Okay.
But since there's no router stuff, you could probably get away with doing it in app. But you really shouldn't be trying to follow along anyways. So now we have a pick letter, right? So I want to add, as soon as I click a letter, I want to add it to that array, right? So we need a add letter to picked array. Just how we did events before. I'm going to have to do, does anyone remember how we did this? We did this with the memory game a whole 10 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
add a letter that was clicked to this new array.
Let's,
So
listen.
we wanna pop it and push it.
Not pop and push.
It's nice.
Is it slice or is it splice?
Slice cuts out things. Splice adds things. I want to splice.
Yep. So picked letters was this dot state dot picked letters dot splice. I actually forget how to do this off the top of my head.
It's the index or whatever, and then how many you want deleted.
That's exactly it.
Nice and push.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. So because we can't mutate the state, we can't just say, hey, update this. We need to actually set the new state. We need to create the new array. Make that a copy of what's going on here. The slice. And we want to push on the new letter.
What is slice doing again?
So slice is making a copy of the array because we don't want to modify it whenever it's in state. You can't.
Slice with no argument just takes the whole thing. Right?
Yep.
Normally you can cut it in pieces, but if you don't put anything in, it takes
Correct. So we want, so at the core of the day, at the end of the day, we want to be able to take what's in state, modify it, and update the state, right? Well, we can't modify it directly because state is immutable, means we can't change it. So we need to make a copy, change the copy, and then update the state with the copy.
So you're saying you couldn't do new pick letters equals this dot state dot pick letters?
No.
Because then you would just be giving the state to new pick letters and you're going to be able to push from there.
Because remember, this set state, this isn't just like changing values, it's actually like re-rendering the page. So it's actually doing a lot of stuff. Alright, so we're adding our array to picked letters now. So now, I actually want to display that real fast, just to kind of like double check ourselves so that it's actually working. So I'm going to create a quick H1, letters picked, and then it's going to be this dot state dot picked letters. Key equals I. So as we add letters, it's going to populate this list for us. Nothing crazy, right? Just enough to double check our sanity of what's going on here. So now that we think we have the backbone set up, the actual action set up, we need to implement it somewhere, right? So we need to pass this function down to our buttons. So we're going to do that by passing it down as a prop. So we'll call this add letter handler equals this dot add letter to picked array. So we're saying take this function that we made and pass it down as a prop. That way down here, you can say, hey, button, on the on click, I need you to call this dot props dot, what I call it?
Add letter.
Add letter handler. And I need to pass it this.props.letter. All right.
One more time.
Yeah. So I'm passing down what I want to run whenever that button's clicked. So when that button is clicked, it's going to pass the current letter back up to whatever function this is, right? Which is this right here. And it's going to say, hey, take whatever letter was passed in, update the state, and re-render everything else.
And then put this dot letter on the other page.
So you're passing down the function?
Yep, passing on the function to be used by the child component.
The child, can I see the child?
Who's child?
Mine.
Want to see if this works? Made a few little changes here.
Is there something you need to say?
Huh?
Read me. Oh, that's a read me.
Over here. Why did this not work? Hoping there's an error. No error.
I was just gonna say.
That's saved. That's saved. That log. Got here. The letter. So the letter is nothing.
Why did letter appear suddenly? Was it working before? Now it appeared. The letter's picked.
The more I refresh it, the more it works. So it's getting there with the appropriate letter, right? So now, you know that's working. What is, so now I want to see console.log what's new picked letters. So that's working.
Has something to do with asynchronous.
I'm not crazy, am I? I mean, it looks right.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
I've done like 4 times now. I forget to return somewhere.
I always forget to put return. So yeah, here we go. So now, that's awesome, right?
So what's the problem? You didn't do
there
it.
is a return.
I didn't do the return here.
Alright.
I was wondering.
Because you always say after you do a map, oh,
You have to return. You have to return something, right? I
Right.
always say that. I always say it because it's a common mistake that I always do. So that's awesome. It's working now. But I want to take it one step further, and I want to go, hey, whenever I click M, I don't want to be able to do this. I don't want to be able to add M multiple times. So I want to disable this button, right? So how would I do that?
Add it to your unclick.
Isn't there an event handler called disabled? Or is disabled?
There's a thing called disabled, yes.
It's not what that is.
It is. It's
No.
not in an event.
Oh,
It's an HTML attribute that you can put on your buttons to disable it. So now it's something to do with the on, something to do. Now that we have, can I format this? So going by what we said earlier, that we want to pass down what was picked down into the button, right? So picked equals this dot state dot picked letters. So now this letter button can go if this dot props dot picked. So if any of the letters that were picked contains, bless you, contains this dot prop dot letter, then we want to return we don't want to return the button that's clickable, right? We want to return the disabled button. So button that's disabled.
Maybe we could put something else in there instead of the letter.
Yeah.
Asterisk.
Yeah. So now we're saying, hey, if what was picked contains this letter, then don't display the clickable button, display a disabled button.
And the same was a property of the button.
Yep.
Okay.
Boom. 53 errors. It's not contains. It's where'd it go?
Includes.
Yep, it includes. Got my languages messed up there. Letters picked. So now M is disabled. There's no, you can kind of see it's grayed out a little bit. Sort of. So now if I click N, it's grayed out. And no matter how many times I click that button, it's not adding it to my list. So let's just kind of recap what we did here.
Is there a way to actually take out the bottom plate entirely?
Just
Instead of
to take out-
replacing it with an asterisk?
So just to kind of take out the button, you could return nothing.
Shrink each time.
You have to return something, but you could have returned just like,
Could you return?
Empty?
yeah, I mean,
Can you what's the slice here?
yeah. So you could return it. You could just kind of get rid of it.
I like that.
I like that.
The letter just disappeared.
You know, but that's up to you. I like having the empty space there as a user. I do.
Placeholder like.
Yeah. But that's personal choice at that point.
Is there a way you could just disable it from the on-click event? So, what's called add pick letters, that function, that's what happens when on-click happens, right? So, is there a specific target that you can disable? Like, event.target.value instead of that being event.target.disable instead of true?
I don't think I'd rely on that because it's getting re-rendered all the time. I see what you're trying to do, and I see what you mean, and I know in a vanilla JavaScript world that's what you would do. But we're in React world. Good thinking, though.
Oh, is it reloading the page every time you hit the button there?
Is it what?
Reloading the page?
is re-rendering the page.
Which is what you want. We're ready for it.
Yeah.
Your eyes is too slow.
So how are we feeling with this? Again, a little bit of a closer roadmap and a closer of an idea. So remember, you just take it in small chunks. It's totally manageable. So what did we do here? Displayed all the buttons first, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then we stored what was clicked, right? Then we actually made them clickable, right? Then we're like, oh, wait a minute. If it's clicked, don't display it. So we added a little bit of logic there to see whether we want to display it or not.
Do you think we could touch on accessing the word from the array?
Accessing the word from the array.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I tried to just use the index.
Yeah.
And for some reason.
So,
it's still in there,
what is the JSON file? So you want to take this file, come over here.
Did you do like raw?
Yep.
That come added that little JSON thing and up it down.
Do you have to do raw? You just cut and paste it. Just control alt or control A.
Well, it's,
Well, yeah. I mean, if you can,
circuit word.
if you control A here, you're gonna get like everything.
Well, yeah.
You what?
So I just go to raw. That can be the actual JSON, and then control A, control copy. Sorry, yeah, command A, not control, command.
It's like off, right?
So now I want to import it, right? Import words from data / words.json. So let's console.log in my constructor. Console.log words and see what happens. Not there. Goes the component. Yeah. Pick your favorite event. So we have our words here, right? So now how would we access about?
Should just be words 2.
Words too, right? So console.log
That's what I thought I did. But
because once you load it in, it's just an array.
yeah, that's I don't know. Maybe we can take a look at it again.
Yeah, we'll look at it afterwards. So, what else? We have 5 minutes.
Classic joke.
Hmm?
Bullshit.
What? So yeah, what all do we have? What other questions do we have? So, how to call the letter, disable thing after click. So how to change the snowman.
Oh, that was a good one.
That is a good one. What are our thoughts for that?
Should just be able to you start off with 0, and then you just like you said, you have a counter that goes up 1 every time you get a letter, or you don't get a letter,
And you get it correctly.
and then but it's just string concatenation. So you have whatever snowman
It's important to know the
blank,
the pictures.
and then PNG, and then you just concatenate the numbers. So it starts out at 0,
Mhm.
and then it goes up to 1.
So I would think of that snowman thing as a component that just takes a number of 0 to 7.
Kind of right.
I mean, the actual images.
Huh?
Talking about the images itself.
Yeah, like that thing on the page, whatever that ends up being for you, I think that is a component that takes a property of 0 to 7, whatever step you're on. Then inside of that component, I'd probably just have a giant if statement that says like if prop dot step equals 1, return snowman number 1. If it's step 3, return step 3. So that's how I would approach it. It's a little bit easier than string concatenation. You control it a little bit better. So with that being said, I'll upload this video, and I'll be around for questions.